Hello, welcome to Skill Check, the positive gaming podcast from YMCA Exeter. My name is Andy.
And my name is Becky.
And I'm laughing lots because that was at least my second attempt to do this.
At least a second attempt to do this today.
I apologise for another awful intro. Help me out. How was your bank holiday weekend?
It was good. It was very quiet. We went to see Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've heard rumours that is brilliant.
It's really good. It's really good. We really enjoyed it.
No spoilers here, though.
No spoilers. No.
I might be waiting for it to come out on Disney+.
We're also contemplating whether we go and see Spider-Man to the Spider or across the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, we're also contemplating that.
It's sequel to the awesome Spider-Man movie that wasn't made by Marvel.
No, it's true.
Or
It
the
was.
MCU.
It was made by Sony.
Yes. Maybe that's how Sony can do Spider-Man movies forever.
Yeah, just cartoons.
Yes.
It's so good. If you haven't seen it, I totally recommend it. And then I also, excited to go and maybe see the other one at some point as well.
The other one? The other Spider-Man?
There's
multiple Spider-Man movies?
I'm suggesting that you go and watch Into the Spider-Verse, and I'm excited to go and see Across the Spider-Verse.
Got you. So is Into the Spider-Verse the first one?
Into the Spider-Verse is the first one.
Okay, I have seen that one, and that one is awesome.
It is awesome, and the second one looks just as good.
And if anyone gets the opportunity to watch the first one, watch it, especially if you're into comic books. We have strayed.
We've strayed so far off
video games.
How was your bank holiday weekend?
Heartbreaking.
Oh, really? What happened? Are you going to talk about something that we...
So, I can see this being a theme of the podcast about Jedi Survive.
Oh, here we go.
And so I've played about an hour or so of it on Friday.
Okay.
Bit busy on Saturday. Played a bit more on Sunday. Played about an hour into it. And then when I got to a save point, I was getting these error messages come up saying, game failed to save. Or words along those lines. I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's just see what happens. Went on to the next save point.
Yep.
And it all saved.
Yeah.
What I should have done is I should have stopped at that point.
Oh, no.
I should have closed down the PC. I should have ran away. I should just left the house. I should have gone and done anything else.
What happened?
I just kept playing and it refused to save the game at any point.
So did you have to play again?
So I was like, all right, okay, let's just quit the game.
Yeah.
And that was possibly another mistake. In that when I went to restart, it gave a message along the lines of game failed to save.
Oh no.
And about game file data being corrupted.
Oh no.
And please start a new journey.
Oh. So do you have to start right from the beginning?
Yes. Yes, I did. And it turns out that when I started from the beginning, I got the difficulty setting really wrong, and it was a little bit more difficult than I was expecting. So I spent a long time on the first level kind of looking at the screen and the controller, just questioning what was I doing wrong. And
so that was a good productive weekend then?
Yes. Yes, it was. Becky, what have we got coming up?
Yeah, so we are talking, I don't know is the answer to the question. We're talking about getting outside with games. I've got to look up what we're doing now. We've got Andy's Game of the Week.
But first, we have gaming news. Now it's time for gaming news.
So our first piece of gaming news today is the UK government. The UK government wants to find out more about the UK's booming video game industry, including whether its products harm users' mental health. Some of the world's best-selling games, including Grand Theft Auto and Football Manager, are made in the UK. The UK is the 5th largest video game market in the world and is currently worth £2.8 billion to the British economy, with over half of all British adults playing games. A new guide sets out a legal framework that allows the gaming industry to hand over data harvested from video game players while avoiding breaches in privacy law. British games companies can apply for video games tax relief. If the companies qualify, it can claim back 20% of production costs during development, which I didn't know about, which is a really interesting little stat there.
I mean,
if you're developing a game in this country, you can claim back 20% of your...
And that is a good thing for video game developers and studios. That attracts people, I guess. There's lots of other... but we're not going to go there. I think... I don't fully understand the nuances of all of this. But the headline that I've seen when people kind of tweeted out about this, and it's all being kind of linked to the official government framework.
It's online. On the gov.uk website.
Flipping egg, I could sit down, grab a few coffees and try and work this out, or I might not. But the headline sentiment I'm seeing is that this is a good thing. And this is helping to equip research organisations to have access to more data, to have a greater understanding over the impact that gaming is having on people.
So we could see quite a few new bits of research coming out in the next few years because of this framework, because it basically means that they can take data from games without, meaning that laws are breached and things in terms of your privacy when you store your data. And it means that we will probably see in the next few years more research on whether games are harming people's mental health, what effect it's having on young people, what effect it's having on general population society. So I think it will be really interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing more bits of research on it. I think we've been saying for a long time that it needed more research, and so actually this will be really exciting.
And it's good to see it being taken seriously.
Which is the other thing. Our second piece of gaming news is Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Such a letdown.
Such a letdown. The developers of the latest Lord of the Rings game, Gollum, which allows players to play a series of missions and locations as the character Gollum from the Lord of the Rings, have apologised to users after major backlash on TikTok. The game comes 6 years after the release of the last Lord of the Rings game, Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Users have criticised the new game on social media for all its technical bugs and glitches and how expensive it is to purchase. The UK retail price for the game is $49.99. The continuous release of bad video games has led to a growing debate over whether players are getting fair exchange for their money. In 2023 interview, the Zelda series producer indicated that Nintendo decided to delay The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom solely to clean up the game to its finest condition, which we did talk about a bit last week. But it is, it's an interesting, it was very suddenly become much more forefront when a game that's so expensive is released and it's just full of bugs and glitches. And we talked about that Jedi Survivor as well.
It says that the game is so expensive. That is standard price for a lot of big game releases now. And big game releases are being released in really shoddy condition.
You don't have to look at Jedi Survivor for that.
Jedi Survivor, Last of Us on the PC.
It's interesting because we definitely had this conversation about Tears of the Kingdom and why they delayed it. And it is we talked about patience and actually maybe it's time to say... you've got to stop releasing these big games until they're ready, because otherwise we're paying for things that aren't ready and you're having to release hundreds of updates to try and make them ready for us.
And it's just going to shoot kind of big game companies in the foot, because people are going to start to get used to big games being released, being rubbish. And so therefore people just not buy them straight away
and
wait till it comes down in price. And get a fully complete game.
It's interesting, That's now Andy's philosophy, is he's going to wait to buy games until he is sure that they're not. So he just wants to play the game.
That's what I say.
He wants to be ready. One day. Our final piece of gaming news is Stardew Valley. This was included specifically because it's...
After my stress, and this is just a breath of fresh air.
This is a lovely little piece of news. So Stardew Valley creator Eric Barone, known online as Concerned Ape, seems to be teasing an upgrade farming tool coming to the farming sim RPG. Barone dropped the briefest of teasers, 2 words, Iridium Scythe, on Twitter. I'm going to say that wrong. This week during the driving Stardew Valley fandom crazy. The reason that this is so exciting is that fans have been asking for this particular upgrade for at least 6 years, Iridium is a type of material attainable in Stardew Valley, but the game never actually had an Iridium tier scythe, dooming your farming toolbox to the miserable fate of incomplete colour coordination. The item is likely to become available when the 1.6 upgrade happens later this year. Just for colour coordination purposes, you have to have all the tools the same colour. Apparently, that's like this.
That's good news for people.
It's very good news for Andy, who plays Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good news. I mean, when I play Stardew Valley, I'm all about the fishing and not being killed in the mines.
Fair enough. I never played Stardew Valley,
enough
but was tempted to buy it this week because it's £11 currently on Nintendo Store. And like you talked about it so much in terms of you're like, this is a really relaxing, chilled game that I'm like now going, maybe I need to buy Stardew Valley so that I can play it.
For the benefit of people listening, our lovely listeners, I'm currently giving Becky eyes that say, do it.
I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to probably like by this time next week, I'll be telling you all about my Stardew Valley that I played.
Next week's game of the week might be Stardew Valley.
And that is the end of gaming news.
Becky.
Yes.
I downloaded a new game on the phone.
On the phone, okay. What was it?
It's called Orna.
What is it?
It is a little bit weird to describe. Okay, imagine Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, yeah.
Imagine the Pokemon Go type interface where you kind of see a map and you see different monsters on the map and you kind of walk in that direction and you catch the monsters.
Yeah, that's very much Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Combine the two together. So
you're catching dragons?
Well, at the moment, I'm mostly fighting level 1 rats.
Okay. Just stuck on level 1.
As I said, D&D.
Yep.
And yeah, I guess it's like brand new.
Oh, okay.
Getting out and about.
Do you walk around and find rats?
Yeah, well.
Okay.
There is a limit to the amount of rats that I have in my immediate area, so I've got to go looking for 10 rats. I've got to go and slay.
The level.
Yes.
Okay.
And there are other monsters in the local area. Yeah. It's not exactly like Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Where on Pokemon Go you've got to be quite near the monster to be able to see it and to be able to catch it. The range, I guess the fighting range in Orna is a lot wider.
Okay.
So it seems like from here I'll be able to fight monsters like down the road and things like that.
Yep.
But there's still that limit of the amount of stuff you can do in your immediate area.
Yep.
So you've got to get out. You've got to go walking. You've got to explore local neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It's something different to do if you're walking, I don't know, between offices perhaps, and
which we do quite a lot.
And you're there going, do I just have a quick scroll on Facebook during this downtime?
I mean,
bit of doom scrolling on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or do I go and find some blue slime?
Yeah. Blue slime. That's a common thing in this game?
It seems to come up.
Wow.
It seemed a lot, easier to find than red slime.
Have you ever veered off course when you've gone to travelling between offices because you're like, oh, that's gonna be slime over there? No?
Give it time.
You will do.
I have just re-downloaded Pokemon Go, so it's a very real possibility.
So now you're out and about a bit more. You're gonna be using all these apps because now it's summer.
It's summer and it is lovely.
It's been lovely the last couple of weeks.
So Pokemon Go is, re-downloaded.
Yeah.
Looking forward to getting stuck back into that.
Yeah.
Geocaching as well.
Nice. Are you getting back into that?
Well, we've been trying to get back into that recently, and every time that myself and family have been out and about, it's been like, I wonder if there's any geocaches around here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get out the phone. I'm can't log into it.
Oh no.
And then there's this whole kind of thing about how long do you try kind of standing there on your phone with the parents not doing much apart from just scrolling, which when you're, meant to be out on a family thing, you don't want to be the guy that's kind of just there on your phone. That's no fun for people you're with. So I've managed to log back into that.
Nice.
And yeah, so...
Now you're like, oh, geocache.
I'm like, oh, geocache.
Have you found any?
Not since yesterday.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to know, like, so I think, because we always talk about gaming in terms of, like, things you can do on your computer at home, but also it's nice to know that if you are into gaming, but you still want to get out and about, there
sometimes it's for reasons to get out and about as well.
Yeah, definitely use it. I think we've done that before where we've like gone, oh, actually, let's go out and do some geocaching, and like that'll be like, okay, oh, actually, I'm going to go and explore this place because there's some fun geocaches around there. So I definitely think I've done that before. Like we did geocaching in Sydney, which was a really weird thing. But we did loads of different things in Sydney because we went geocaching, and my cousin was like, let's go and find some geocaches. And we experienced a whole different side to Sydney than we would have done if we hadn't done geocaching.
Well, yeah, I imagine it would have took you around different areas, kind of off the beaten touristy.
Yeah, it did. It really did. Yeah, so I think if you are, like, I mean, the weather is so nice at the moment, I think it's a good opportunity to use all these kind of things when you're, like, out and about. And
it's something different to going for a walk around the block or going to walk to the river because it's there or whatever. And it's not just kind of Pokemon or Dungeons and Dragons. You've got Ghostbusters open world kind of Pokemon style games. You've got Jurassic Park. I think there's a Harry Potter one. There's if you're into running, there's Zombie Run, which you basically put your headphones in and you have this audible gameplay where you have to run away from zombies you can hear chasing you.
So it's a running thing.
It is a running thing.
Okay, interesting. If you want to run, but you also want to run away from zombies,
I would recommend it to anyone who's training for Great Rest Run.
Great Rest Run
in a year's time.
Yeah. We have got some staff members that are doing that next year. So
we should talk about
it.
Maybe we should talk to staff members first before we...
so we could tell them about zombies and how they can run away from zombies as they're part of their training.
I have an idea.
You're going to get them to do it.
I'm going to get at least one of them to do it.
And we'll record it. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure how we'd record it, but at least...
Andy was running alongside them with a backpack going, he's running away from zombies.
Maybe cycling? That can only go wrong.
Brilliant. I think also if you are out and about, don't forget to have a look around. Take notice, like, I am really keen on people like just lifting up their heads and looking at the trees as well and like listening to the birds. So if you are like catching Pokemon, also, it's really good to like just have a moment in that environment of like being out and about and enjoying the sunshine. And it's...
If for no other reason, do that just to avoid walking into trees.
Yes, and lampposts.
And people. And cars.
Yeah. Yeah. And have a good time. Have a good time outside at the moment. It's all sunny, so enjoy it. And now it's time for Andy's Game of the Week. Andy, what is your game this week?
So, new to Xbox Game Pass, Planet of Lana.
Look, it's literally coming up as a title as you were talking about it.
Brilliant.
That's such good timing.
I could not have timed that better, even
if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the title there.
Again, if you're watching on YouTube, you see how it describes itself as a hand-painted puzzle.
Nice.
Adventure game.
Yeah.
I would throw the word platformer in there as well, because the puzzles are kind of based around platforms and kind of jumping up and jumping down and leaping across and things like that. Goes on to describe itself as an epic sci-fi saga that stretches across centuries and galaxies.
Nice.
And you know what? One of our first impressions were it almost felt like something from the Star Wars universe. Not quite. But, it just plays up to kind of those sci-fi kind of ideas of little village being invaded by scary alien things.
Nice.
I say scary alien things. So far, they just seem like robots. There's nothing particularly scary about them. It looks gorgeous. It is forgiving.
Yeah.
So a bit like Downhill that we talked about the other week, where
Yeah.
if you die, you reappear again quite quickly. In this game, if you die, you again reappear really quick. No game over screen to speak of. There's no restart point. You don't have to go back and save it. It saves quite regularly for you.
Nice.
So therefore, if you do die, from what I can gather, it just takes you back to the start of the thing that you died at.
Nice.
Thinking
that's always helpful.
Exactly, because it means that you learn.
Yeah.
You get to test something out. You see it doesn't work. You get to try it again.
Yeah.
Or you get to try it in a different way.
Nice.
So you have that ability there to learn without being punished.
Nice.
For it.
It looks so pretty.
It is so pretty. If you are a gamer of a certain vintage, there is a certain Prince of Persia aspect to this game.
Nice.
I mean, there's no sword fighting.
Yep.
And there's infinitely less skeletons so far. But there is something about it that does remind me of Prince of Persia.
Yep.
And that's a good thing. I'm dating myself massively, so I'm going to finish by saying it's available on Xbox and PC.
Andy is a gamer of a certain vintage. That's a good way to end it. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all we've got time for this week's podcast. That's a great way to finish, Andy, isn't it?
No.
Isn't it? It's harsh.
We talked about old age wine.
Yeah. So yes, and
going downhill now.
Yes, that's all we've got time for on this week's podcast. If you want to follow us on social media, we are at YMCA Games on Instagram, and you can find us on YouTube on the same handle. And also you can find us at YMCA Exeter, where you can see any support that you need, and also there's loads of clips and stuff on there from our podcast, which is really exciting. And we will see you next week.
Take care now.